I don't know if that was live, but that was awkward. Hello. Sorry about that delay. We had a bit of, problems getting into the building, but obviously now we're in the building. We're ready to blow it up with some fire. We've got Carl in the building, and it's his birthday today, first of all. So first of all, thank you for joining us, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Carl. Thank you guys so much, man. It's a blessing and an honour to be here, man. I love what you guys are doing. I love the platform. So yeah, I'm just excited to get cracking, man.
Yeah. No, we've got a lot to speak about. To be fair, we've got a lot to speak about. Chinasa, sorry, can you speak into your mic?
Yeah, sure. But really, I can't hear myself. So what's going on?
Could you possibly swap mic? Sorry.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
That better?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep. Good. Yes, so first of all, we've got Carl from 23 Degrees. Yes. When I first read the name, I read it as 23 degrees in like the temperature sort of format. Like how, I was like, oh, it was
prime summertime weather.
Exactly, like good British summertime weather. Anyway, but then I was watching your videos and I was actually getting into what you guys do at 2 and 3 degrees, and actually like. Can you just explain to the people out there what you guys do at 2 and 3,
definitely,
to 3 degrees?
So it's 2 to 3 degrees, or 2-3 degrees, and long story short, me and my business partner Aziz Minot, we went to university together, and going through uni, we both studied international relations and politics, and what we found is that we were very passionate about personal development, but practically, so we supported each other through the course. You know what uni's like, that journey, going through exams, going through coursework deadline. We supported each other in getting placements, going out there, building our network, and we did that all through uni, got our grades, did well, then did that in terms of getting employment as well. And what we realised is that we are the type of people to wake up in the morning and really be bouncing off the walls. So we looked around and we said, this energy that we've got, why is it just between us two? Why isn't anyone else waking up in the morning excited about life, ready to go, creating opportunities for themselves? And we said, you know what, let's not share this energy. Let's not be selfish about this. Let's give it to the world. And so the first idea was, let's write a book. And then we said, no, let's think bigger. Let's start a business. Let's go out there and give it to people. And so, the first thing was, why are people not doing this? And the education system was failing people. They're leaving school and they don't have the skills needed to go and develop the life that they want. They don't have the confidence, the body language, the self-esteem, the understanding of what it really takes to build and graft in life. So we just said, let's kick it off, let's get going. So one day we said we want to do it. The next day we had bookings, and it's just been
just like that.
Just like that.
Entrepreneurship. So you got started, you decided, you know what, I want to start my own business. I've got this idea that I want to do. I want to equip people with skills to go out there and be more entrepreneurial. Is that a good way to put it?
Totally, man.
Totally. And you've actually gone out and made a business out of it. So what sort of services do you guys deliver? Like, I see you guys do workshops, you go to like local schools, but so talk to me about that.
Brilliant, man. Totally. We deliver basically 3 main services. So they come in the form of talks, they come in the form of workshops, and they come in the form of online content as well. So the talks, I myself am a motivational speaker, as you would have seen. And we go to schools and just inspire and engage with people. I don't even actually like to call myself a motivational speaker, because the art of speaking to people and giving them something is just a transference of energy. And so essentially what we do is we just transfer energy. We've got tools, tips on how to actually create a better life, create a happier life. And so we go out there and we do that. In our workshop, we basically use activity-based learning to train athletes, to train students, to train entrepreneurs, and basically people from the corporate sector as well, around what's needed to be a winner, what's needed to actually get up every day and go and do what you need to do. And then online content as well, as you would have seen, daily videos, pushing it out to people, just getting people to wake up and have that buzz. Do you know what I mean? Giving them skills, giving them some practical things that they can use in their lives on a day-to-day basis, not just the airy-fairy stuff, but what can you practically do to get better? Is it a case of telling people you need to do a little bit more meditation in your life, or is it a case of saying, you know what, you need to just grind through this rut? It doesn't feel nice right now, but that's part of the journey. And so providing that content for people is another one of our services as well. And then just pushing out. So it's aimed at 3 specific markets: young athletes, students, and entrepreneurs.
So young athletes, why young athletes? What do they need motivational? What do they need motivation for?
I know you would say that, innit?
Especially if you're a young footballer, you're already getting paid mad racks. Like that should be. That's something.
Yeah, so I come from a football background.
Okay.
I played semi-pro football up until about 22 or so. And so I know what it's like to want that dream and to be working towards that dream.
Yeah.
And sport and motivation go hand in hand. Young sports stars always need it, and they always crave it, and it's what's going to get them to the next level. And so that was just a personal passion of mine. And one of the things that Aziz and I said when we first started this business was that, one, we're only ever going to do it if it's a passion and we love doing what we're doing. And as a result of that, we're going to do the things that we are passionate about. So Aziz's thing is mindfulness and kind of well-being. So we incorporate a lot of meditation, a lot of yoga into the stuff that we do. And my stuff is sport. My stuff is plain old motivation. Let's get it cracking. Do you get what I'm saying? So just putting our characteristics into our business and what we do.
You think you could ever be a football manager?
Oh, I don't know.
Because that's basically what Harry Redknapp does. Like, he's not really that much of a football coach. He's a motivational speaker, basically. But anyway, I digress. But a good question. So you've done a range of workshops, you've done a range of talks, and you've spoken to a range of people. Yeah. If there was one skill that you would prioritize that they should all have or they should all work towards having, what would be that skill and why?
That's a really, really good one. That's especially a good one because we've had a couple of workshops this week with young athletes ranging from 11 all the way up until 18. And one of the questions, we do an exercise where we ask a question. So I'm giving you a lot of keys here. You know? We ask
Major keys alert. Major keys alert.
We ask a question: what is more important to your success, talent or hard work? And they have to choose. So they have to stand on either side of the room and choose whether talent is more important to their success or hard work is more important to their success. And you'll be surprised, a lot of the time, the person in the room who is the young superstar or the most bright or the most advanced is the one person that will stand on the talent side. Yeah. And the rest of them who are a little bit more mature will stand on the hard work side. So hard work isn't necessarily a skill. But I say that hard work can become a talent. Because the difference between the two is when you're talented, you spend all of your time being good at something and not necessarily having to work that hard. You know what I mean? You've been the golden child, you've won all the time, so you haven't actually created the files in your system to know what it's like to work hard. You haven't created that characteristic yet. Jeez. However, on the flip side, the kid who is quote unquote not necessarily talented is going home after school every day working, is working an hour before school, is putting in that time because no one's telling him you're talented, you're amazing at this, but he loves the thing. He wants to be better. He wants to be in your position. So let's get to a place now where you're both at the same level, and you're both going for a contract. Let's just say in theory, and something happens, something drastic happens to both of you. You don't have the files in your system to say, rah, my leg got cut off, but I'm still going for this. I know what it's like to grind. I'm going to pick up again and go. The other kid, that's all he's ever done in his life. All he's ever done is grafted and worked hard. So he's got that in his system. He knows what it's like. And I gave the example yesterday that a lot of the time, that's why you get former Olympians who go through a horrific injury become Paralympians. Because they know what it's like to work hard. They know, and that's obviously, you don't get that many people that do that, but you do get some. And that's why in life, it doesn't necessarily matter what you're working hard at. If you're building the right characteristics and the right transferable skills, whether it's football or business or education, you'll be able to take that into whatever you want. Do you know what I mean? And as entrepreneurs, that's what we can do. A lot of people are scared to go into starting their own business because they seem to think you need this golden skill or this golden talent. No, the same thing that got you your good grades in school is the same thing that's going to get you where you need to be in business. The same thing that's going to get you where you need to be in sport. It's just an underlying ability to work hard and have that naked ambition.
Jeez. Hey, I'm feeling that, man. I'm feeling that. You know what?
I was going to add something to that because actually, I can't remember where I saw this, but there was some scientific documentary thing saying how any talent can actually be learned. If you work at it hard enough, you would eventually learn it.
Totally.
Having talent is just kind of, you've been given a bit of a bonus, like a boost. And other guys have to work harder to get there, but they can always get there. Yeah,
exactly. And if Aziz was here, she'll be saying to you, she has this theory that you're only talent. You're not necessarily talent. Actually, doesn't even exist. You can only be talented. You can only be talented at something that you are exposed to. I can't be talented at fencing. Nobody in my area played fencing. No one practiced that. I can't be talented at. So you can't tell me this person was born with this. If everybody in their area, there was a local fencing club, their parents had enough money to take them to that club, of course they're quote unquote untalented at that. And it's the same with everyone. That's why what you're saying is totally right. Any talent can be learned. And Ross, in your because you said you run a business that does video production.
Yeah.
As a video producer or someone that's doing that, do you think that's something that you're just naturally you've got the eye for, or you think it's something that can be learned?
You know, it's interesting actually, because it kind of goes kind of hand in hand with my kind of theory on this stuff. Is that kind of I think that talent is actually very different to what people think it is, in the sense that like people think that talent is this innate gift. And the way that I've always viewed the world is that actually talent is essentially, it's kind of like a collection of skills that you've built up elsewhere without realizing it.
Yeah.
And I think that like, for example, like producing, right, it's so much about organizing.
Right.
And whether or not like I'm a good producer, I'd like to think that like when it comes to like organizing, arranging crew, managing crew on a day, I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
And I think that like I started producing quite young.
Right.
And I felt like I was good at it, but then when you think about it, because I came from a business background, not a film background, I kind of knew more about things like, you know, management practice and stuff like that, right? And, you know, on the one hand, you could say like, oh, you're a talented producer. On the other hand, you could say, oh, well, you kind of picked up these skills doing other stuff.
Right,
dedicated at a different thing.
Yeah.
So I always, my personal feeling is there's like a blurred line between them.
Totally,
and I totally agree with what you're saying in that sense.
Yeah, man. I'm reading a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck, and it touches on the fixed versus the growth mindset, and talking about those things. Like somebody with the fixed mindset starts to basically believe in their own talent and believes everything that people tell them. So they don't necessarily push themselves that hard because they're scared of not getting that result of, wow, you're amazing. Like if you have to work too hard for something, that almost becomes frowned upon because like you're talented, you should get it straight away. Whereas the growth mindset sees failure as a stepping stone, as basically just something that's going to help me get better. So it's just a shift in your mindset, and you can do that. And I'm sure we've all got examples in our lives when we've seen that.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely. I'm thinking, well, how should we do this? Should we play a little track? Because I want to get into about all your motivational talks. I've watched a good few episodes, and there's a few questions that I have from him. So it's your birthday, you know. I could play a track for you.
Yeah. A track for me. Does it? In terms of
it could be
profanities and stuff. Are we good with that?
Profanities. Like this is almost pirate radio, but we're a bit sophisticated, so we call it sailor radio. You get me? Like,
alright, cool. But it's because since it's my birthday, I'm a massive Biggie fan. So
Biggie.
If you've got Notorious B.I.G., I got a story to tell.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that song. Partly because when you hear it, you understand why, but also because like he just narrates a story in such a cool, collected way. But if it's Apple iTunes, I'm not sure if they'll have it on there.
I told you, this is like sailor radio. We don't know what that is. We don't know what that is. Cool. Boy, I've already got it loaded.
Alright, sweet.
But this is
man.
Biggie. Biggie Smalls. I got a story to tell. This is Carl that suggested this one.
Check it out. This here goes out to all the niggas that be fucking mad bitches and other niggas' cribs. Thinking shit is sweet. Niggas creep up on your ass. Live niggas respect it. Check it. I kick flows for ya, kick down doors for ya, even left all my motherfucking hoes for ya. Niggas think Frankie put
ACL Radio. That was Carl's choice, Biggie Smalls, trying to get a little history going on over here, taking it back to the old school. But I wanted to get into your motivational talks.
Man.
Carl, do not actually makes me the happiest.
What?
When you do your talks, you do this thing, you might say a line, and then you've got this giggle. I said every motivational talk here, they've got to have that signature like speech. I don't know if I could call it a speech impediment, but this signature speech, it says speech signature. So he says something, and then you don't really get it. Then he laughs, and then it makes sense. Like it's that purpose. You do that.
You know what? It's so crazy. I can't believe you put it out. Every single person says that to me, and the craziest thing is, until someone brought it up, I did not even notice it.
Oh my God,
it just happened naturally.
No, I swear.
And it's crazy because now that people say it all the time, I watch my videos back and I'm laughing at myself like, oh my days, like, why do you do that? But I just can't help it. Like I'll say something, and it's almost, and the thing is about motivational speaking, you actually get motivated by the words that are coming out of your mouth.
You're motivating yourself.
So 9 times out of 10, I might say something and be like, raw. Yeah, man, that makes sense. They clap, laugh, like, no, I need to tell you that again. You get me? So
that passive motivation.
No, it's so crazy. But everyone keeps bringing it up, talking about the laugh, talking about the clap. But it just keeps happening.
I didn't even clap the clap. I didn't even clap the clap.
It just happens.
Yeah. Now that's amazing.
Good to have personality.
But I was going to say, you see, when you script these motivational speeches, do you script them like a rapper who's about to write his bars, or is it like some sort of written poetry? Like, is there what is the actual method behind the actual, you know, constructing of these messages?
So I just get motivated by life. The reason, and a part of the reason why I think I will never stop this year is because I've always been doing this. It's just that now I'm showing the world. But I've always gone around and seen certain things and just been inspired by it. It's just now that I choose to write them down and put them in a 2-3 minute clip video and tell them to the world. So I could be on the way to work on the tube. That 20-minute journey, I've come up with 3 or 4 different ideas. Yeah. Someone's making a funny facial expression on the tube. I'll get an idea from that. You know, someone runs for the tube and misses it. I'll get an idea. Oh, you're missing out on your opportunities. Like, you know what I mean? It just literally comes from like, even like sitting in this office right now, or sitting in this radio station. The fact that we've got that view out there, and like this feels like a real startup. The energy in here, I'm like, there's already ideas that are flowing in my mind that people deserve to know and can touch different people. The way I see it, there's like 7.5 billion people in the world. Yeah, I can't motivate everyone, but I can touch certain people by saying different things. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. Like I always say, I'm like Chipmunk. I don't run out of bars. There's different things. Man, like. So I'm just gonna keep going, keep being inspired by the world, and keep giving it to the world. And partly also because I do see it as a bit of a craft. I don't necessarily see myself as a rapper, but I do see myself as a bit of an artist. So every time I do a video, every time I come up with an idea, it's like I'm practicing. It is like that person in the studio writing bars and getting to practice and practice their delivery and all that. That's the same as me. I'm getting to practice the same. So every time I go up on the stage, or I'm practicing in a bath, or I'm practicing behind the camera, that's me working on my craft. You get me? That's me sharpening my sword to get better at it, to hopefully just be doing it more and more and touch more people, man.
And so you should, my bro. So you should.
Amen, man.
So as I'm saying as well, who are like the motivational speakers that you look up to that inspired you to get into the, you know, speaking that talk?
Talking that talk, man.
I'm gonna put it out there. My favorite, just in general, E.T.
Everyone loves E.T. man. E.T.'s the GOAT, man. If you don't want it as much as you want to breathe, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't you remember that one? Some black American guy. Of course, man. Of course,
proper
E.T.
sick.
Nah, you don't love E.T. Nah, you need to put them on, man. You need to put them on.
And then there's some next guy as well that I listen to him online. He doesn't do videos. He just does audios. I think something like Rough.
I don't think I've heard of him, you know.
Yeah, some black.
You gotta send me a link, man.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, he's different. But yeah, just that. I think the most famous is probably E.T. But
yeah, there's loads of people. There's loads of motivational speakers for one. But E.T. is definitely someone that not only touched my heart, but I've followed for years. Like E.T. That video that you're talking about. Then he created the Blueprint to Success mixtape. That was my soundtrack for getting through uni. And a lot of my other friends as well, who were not necessarily just in uni, who were on road, who were starting businesses, who were doing whatever. Like, that was the thing that got us through, like got us grinding. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, a lot of the stuff that E.T.'s done and his whole movement, I love. You've obviously got your Tony Robbins, you've got your Zig Ziglars, Bob Proctor. There's loads of Les Brown. There's loads of people that do it. Do you know what I mean? Les Brown's another black man that's just done amazing in that sector. And so there's loads of amazing great people. Alongside that, there's also amazing people similar to myself in terms of London born, young, doing their thing.
Shout them out.
Bare people, man. So you got Haley Malunda, you got Richard Asamonga. I'm probably not going to say his second name right, but Richard Asamonga, he's here with Richard. Who else have you got? You got Emmanuel Akin. I follow him on Twitter. You got Mr. Ashodi, again another friend of mine. I did a live booking at his show that was in February. There's loads of people doing that graft and doing that grind. And like I always say, 7.5 billion people. I can't do everyone. We need more. Do you know what I mean? And in America, motivational speaking and personal development is a big sector. You know how Americans are in your face, loud. We're a very conservative country, so a lot of people aren't used to this. So I'm like, we are the birth of a nation. We're starting something new. This is our generation. So let's take the bull by the horns and run with it, man. Bare people. And then alongside that, she's going to kill me for saying this, Aziz doesn't see herself as a motivational speaker. It's not something that she's passionate about. But you get her in a room in front of people, she gets going. Do you get what I'm saying? Any crowd, any age, she gets going. Do you get me? So, yeah, man, we're running with it. There's bare people, man.
So when you actually need motivation, how do you get motivated? Because obviously you're a motivational speaker, like you said. You know, you speak sometimes, you hear yourself, you get that passive motivation going on. Obviously, it's not always rosy. Of course, man. How do you actually, like, when you've hit a downturn, and people who have hit a downturn and they're in a stuck in the mud, for example, how would you tell them, or how would you yourself get out and get motivated to go and do what you need to do? Like, totally. What's a great way to get motivated?
That's a great question. First and foremost for me, prayer. That's the first thing for me. Prayer is my sustenance. Prayer and meditation, just talking to God, and it's something that I need to improve on and get a lot better at. But prayer is that thing for me, especially, like, I always say to people, like, where do you get your sustenance from? Where do you get your spiritual sustenance from? And don't wait to be in a deep, dark, black hole before you turn around and say, God, help me. Do that on a daily basis. When you wake up in the morning, look up in the sky and realize that today is a blessing, because you didn't have to wake up today. God didn't have to give you that opportunity, or whoever or whatever you believe in. You didn't have to get that opportunity to do that. So that from its that at its standpoint is a blessing. So prayer is definitely something that I look to. Again, man, friends, family, the people that I love. I always say, and my uncle told me this when I was really young, I am blessed to be around some amazing people. My friends are some go-getters, some winners, you know what I mean? So just from their stories, what they're doing, seeing the way they graft, this is about them as much. So before I started videos, I started blogging. And when I used to write my motivational blogs, 9 times out of 10, it was just a story that I had seen because my friend had gone through it. Do you know what I mean? So whether it was my brethren moving to a girl on the road, or someone learning how to swim, or someone, you know, starting their own business, it was all the people that are around me and seeing them go through life and how that inspires me. So prayer is definitely one thing. Friends and family and the people that you have to learn from. And also, this concept that I have, that I'm not actually necessarily sure whether it's a good concept or not, but it's something that I've always kind of been in the back of my mind, is that I always look forward to, no, I don't necessarily look forward to, but the concept of death. And for me, it's crazy, right? Yeah.
It sounds very crazy.
No, it sounds crazy, but for me, that concept that you can walk out of this room and all of a sudden it's over is liberating. Because how can you be worried about people's opinions, or the fact that something might go wrong, or not making enough money, when you know your time on this planet is limited? If I know my time on this planet is limited, I want to die empty. I don't want to be on my deathbed thinking to myself, what if I did that? I wish I did this. Oh, things would have been so much better if I did this. No, I want to be on my deathbed with goosebumps, thinking back to the memories of me and my friends that booked that last minute ticket to Vegas. Me and my friends that started that business. I spoke in front of 50,000 people. I stepped up and I spoke to that person even though everybody else was scared. I did the things that helped me step out of my comfort zone so I can live the life that I wanted to. And yeah, from the basis, yes, nobody likes to think about death. You don't necessarily have to think about it like that. But you do have to think about, what legacy do you want to leave behind? Because if you don't think about what you want to happen, you can't make the things happen on your journey. What legacy do you want to leave behind? When you're gone, what do you want to have built? What do you want your story to be? What do you want to be able to tell your kids about? The reason why my mum is such a big inspiration is because when I sit down and talk to her, she can tell me stories about taking risks, about coming to this country, about starting business, about going back to school. Me and my mum and my sister, I'm a twin. So me, my mum, my twin sister did our GCSEs in the same year. Because obviously when you come over from this country, the education that you've got there, they don't necessarily transfer. It doesn't transfer over. So she had to go back to school whilst bringing us up. So we're sitting on a table, all three of us, learning about Pythagoras theorem.
That must have
been
amazing.
My mum and my sister. To the stage where she's done that, got her foundation, got her degree, started her own business. I'm like, that is the type of stuff that I want to be able to tell my children about. If she didn't do that, she wouldn't be able to tell me them stories to inspire me. And I want it to be exactly the same for my kids. I want them to look up to me and think, rah, like, I got to win, man, because I've seen this person win. I've seen this person graft every single day. I want to do the same.
No, that's really powerful. I think the whole death thing. I mean, myself, I usually use the opposites, which is it going to kill you? And if it's not going to kill you, then yeah, do it.
Go again, innit?
So
It's a very
interesting,
very positive. Like your mind frame is very positive. Like you've got, I don't know, how do you train? Like, is there a way you can train your mind just out there? Like, how do you like give yourself this sort of perspective where you look at life? Because that's a very I'd say radical way to look at death. To be fair, so
totally.
like, how do you do that?
Yeah, no, that's a really, really good question. It's not something that happens overnight. So if you imagine, your mind, they say you have anywhere from 50 to 60,000 thoughts going through your mind every single day, and 3/4 of them you don't have any control over. They just go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. But the ones that you do have control over, if they are taken up by people's negative language, the stuff that you're reading in the newspaper, disaster, debt, tax, etc., Brexit, watching nonsense on the TV, or Housewives of this, or Real Husband Hollywoods of that, and then on top of that, you're not exercising, you're not doing anything. What are you feeding your mind? Your mind, it's a garden. That's all it is. Your mind is literally just like a garden, and your thoughts and the things that you let into your mind are like the seeds that you are planting. So decide, what type of flowers do you want to grow in your garden? Do you want your garden to be a place where it's creative? You're able to think about the things that you want to think about. You're able to create based on the fact that you're learning new information all the time. Or do you want it to be full of weeds and stinging nettles and not be tended to? If you do want it to be like that, then just leave it. Let anything enter your mind. Don't filter any information.
You see, I think the key is that people aren't thinking about this. So there's a level of awareness that people haven't reached. So they're not even aware of the fact that they're letting all these thoughts into their
Exactly,
head.
yeah.
So like you say, when you start to think about it, you realize, oh, right, maybe I shouldn't think about
exactly,
these things, or maybe I shouldn't spend my time watching, Real Housewives and having these people against each other. So I think, it's that awareness as well.
Totally. And then, and when you are aware, you're totally right. When you are aware, you will make a conscious decision to put the right things into your mind. Because if you say, okay, cool, I know that watching this or reading this or listening to this is bad. Okay, what's good? All right, let me feed myself with that. Let me go and read a book that I'm going to get some knowledge on. Let me go and speak to somebody that I'm going to learn something from. Let me go and be in an environment where people are aspiring to do something. And so it's everything about your environment, everything about what you take in, everything about what you do. And slowly but surely, that will change constantly. But it has to become a habit. Because bad habits, good habits, they're both habits. Yeah. So if it's bad, it's gonna continue doing what it's done. If it's good, it's gonna continue doing what it's done. So you just have to change a bad habit into a good one.
So I want to talk to you about social media.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, from what you do, it seems like social is really important.
Yeah.
And social's like a massive part of our lives now. Like, social has become our generation's TV, basically, right? That's what we're all moving towards.
Basically.
So I want to know your thoughts on kind of how significant it is now as far as being an entrepreneur, but also as being an individual and creating like your personal brand and being able to cultivate success that way.
Yeah.
Just what are your thoughts?
Cool, man. So if you asked me this question about 4 or 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to give you an answer because I wasn't on any social media platforms. I was anti-social media. My friend literally had to fight me, grab my phone off me just to download WhatsApp. And that was the only thing that I had. Do you know what I mean? I was anti social media. Do you get me? And then it got to a stage where I realized that social media is simply just a tool. So, like, instead of running from it, just decide what you're going to use the tool for. Are you going to let the tool use you, or are you going to use the tool? And so I decided to use the tool. And so, creating Facebook and Twitter, etc., etc. You can only put on there the things that you want people to see. That's one thing as well. Social media is great because you can put the things that you want people to see. So I put my videos in there. I put my thoughts on there that are positive. I contribute to things that are going to contribute to people's lives and society. You don't have to put everything on there, though. And that's where some people go wrong. But then it's the flip side as well. I put what I want to put on social media. I also have to understand that other people put what they want to put on social media. So I can't take everything I see literally. And that's something that, again, because of our society and because we are millennials and we've grown up in this age, and I'm scared even more for those that are younger, a lot of people aren't aware of that. They're taking everything they see literally. Like, we literally had a workshop the other day, and when we asked that question about talent or hard work, the girl said, okay, cool, but it doesn't matter if we don't get where we want to get, because we can just go start a business, put it on Instagram, and we'll blow up. Do you know what I mean? And she laughed, but a little bit of me was scared, because I was like, although she's laughing, how much of that is actually true? Like, how much of that does she actually believe? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, how much of that does she actually believe? And social media has that thing where it makes people look like they got rich overnight. Any media can make it, can shape it like that.
It's just a snapshot, basically. They don't show the hard work. Like, that's not Instagrammable. Yeah, I'm broke. I've got £0.
You know what I mean? Show them the real. Show them the real. Like, I'll show you. Like, I was doing videos on my iPad in the football pitch behind my house. So one day when I'm doing videos behind a green screen, know that the come up is real. I didn't start like this. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have this studio editing my videos. This is me. I've been doing this.
Started from the bottom.
You get me? So, but no, sorry, to answer the question specifically, on a personal note, again, social media, you choose what you want to put on there. So therefore, you should have to look at it as a personal brand. Whatever you're putting on there, employers, people that you want to connect with one day, things that you're interested in, that's what you will attract. So make sure you're putting the right things on there. From a business perspective, it's definitely important. We live in that age, man, especially where, any product that you want can be sold on social media. So everything down from the videos to the memes that we make at 2 to 3 degrees, that brings in business. We go to networking events and teachers come to us and say, we play your video to school, to our class every day. I'm like, okay, cool. Pay us to come into your school. And they're like, cool, we'd love to have you. Do you get me? So that's marketing in itself. So again, it's a tool. For a business, it's a very big tool and a very important one that can be used to bring in more business. But again, dedicate time and have a team as well. You can't just be sitting there posting every single minute and think that's going to get you somewhere. There's expertise that need to be used around that. And even us, we're still learning. We've only been doing this for a year.
Yeah, man. You know what? Interesting. I want to ask on the flip side of that, because I myself on social media, I'm kind of like you, averse to the whole thing, because I feel like once I get absorbed, I'm doing it a bit too much. So usually I use my Instagram for watching content. So cool. Do you have any advice for the sort of good content that someone who wants to get more motivated? Kind of pages to follow, that sort of thing.
There's only one, mate. There's only one.
2 to 3 degrees.
There's only one.
2 to 3 degrees.
2_3 degrees. Yeah, you said. Thank you, man. Thank you. You set me up nice, bro. On a serious note, obviously we again, like I said, it's one of our services. It's what we do. We seek to provide daily motivational content to people, and again, that word motivation can actually be negative for some people. Some people don't like the idea of it. They're almost a bit scared of it. So it's not necessarily just motivation. It's actually just wisdom and thoughts that are going to help you have a more productive day. So anything from, teaching you how to focus better on your exams and how to create a revision timetable, to why it's important to be meditating, or to why it's important to be going in the gym. And then you've got that raw crud stuff like, okay, get your ass up out of bed, it's time to get to work. So on Instagram, on Twitter, on everything, it's 2_3 degrees, and the same with my social media profile. It's CKKONADU, and that's on everything: Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and just that daily content, man. And we show you the real as well. It's not just edited videos. It's actually also, we're going to a workshop to deliver this today. We're working late today, so you see the grind, you see the hustle.
Yeah. Well, we're going to quickly go into the final track, really, and then when we come back, we're going to fire some questions about you. We're going to do a little Ask Carl. So
Ask Carl. And even after, I want to play something, because there's this motivational video that I saw once, and for me, it's like I would play it over and over again. It's like 20 seconds long.
Cool.
I'll play it right after the show.
Wicked, man. Wicked.
Right, man. Say no more. This is Don E. Nardo. You were right, yeah. This is a banger. I just love the song. Yeah, you're listening to Like a Boss. That was Don E. You were right, yeah. DJ Olu up in there. Yeah, it's a banger. We got Carl in the building. Hello, Carl. This is the Ask Carl segment. We're gonna basically fire him some questions, and he basically has to motivate me. Like, I'm gonna come to you as a person who's really depressed, and not depressed, but who has an issue. And you need to give me some motivation. all right. Let me go into character now. All right. Hi, Carl. I've got a business. My girlfriend dumped me, and I don't want to do it anymore. Like, cool. What? I'm really sad. I'm really depressed. Yeah. And I need help.
Why did you start your business?
Because I wanted to make a difference in the world.
Cool. Now that your girlfriend's gone, can you still make a difference in the world?
I don't know. I just feel really down.
Of course, and that's a given. On this journey of life, bumps, roads, it's all a part of the process, isn't it? But do you want to be a winner?
Yeah, but with my girlfriend.
Cool, that's fine. Should that be the path for you, she will come back. But ultimately, in order for you to be a real winner,
hey, I'm ready, guys. I'm ready.
No, let me go in. Let me finish, man. Let me land. In order for you to be a real winner, do you think your girlfriend's gonna want to come back to you crawling on the ground, or you standing at the top of that mountain holding that trophy, winning
at the top of the mountain?
So that should be your motivation, if anything. Do you know what I mean? And should she not come back, then you know who else is going to be there. You get me?
I'm not going to lie. I didn't even need you to finish. I was like, hey, I'm going. I'm sorry. But seriously, when people do come at you with their problems and with their issues, like how is it? Because sometimes like the problem, I don't know, maybe when I listen to people and their problems, like sometimes you look at it and you be like, what are you actually complaining about? Like it's not that deep. Do you actually tell them it's not that deep, or do you have to, be a bit strategic in how you go about it?
Yeah, it always depends on the situation. But the first thing to say is, everything in life is all to do with perspective. A lot of the time, people are just taking the wrong perspective towards something. So it's not about telling that person you are wrong. It's about getting them to see that they can take another perspective. Because we all have the answers. Motivation, I'm not telling you anything new. I'm not telling you anything that I've gone and researched that nobody's found out before. This stuff already exists in the world. It's just about shaping you and putting you in a position where you can see it for yourself. Because I can't just tell you it. It's not just words. It's about getting you to open up your mind and think, okay, cool. This is the way I'm looking at something now. Let's think about where I want to be, why I started this, and how I could potentially look at this differently. And then the energy comes from within. Because if it solely comes from, I'm shouting at you and telling you to change, I'm going to leave. That external impulse is not going to be there anymore. But if I can change your mindset where you're thinking about it for you personally and how that can change your life, then that's a different game changer. You don't need external motivation for that.
Definitely. You know what? I think just in this last few minutes of the show, we're going to do what we normally do at the start of the show, which is just read out a few news stories. We're not really going to have time to deliberate on a lot of them. And then, after we'll come back to you, Carl.
Cool.
And then we round up the show. So I'm just gonna get started with a couple of news stories. So I'm gonna hit Olu first because I know this one's gonna hurt him. So yesterday,
come at me, bro. Come at me.
So yesterday, Instagram announced that they actually have 200 million daily active users of their stories.
No.
Wow. Which is more than Snapchat.
No.
160 million.
No, you're lying.
So more people are using Instagram stories now than...
But wait, hang on. Listen, like, Instagram's owned by Facebook, and Facebook is notorious for telling lies about their analytics. So, I ain't believing it. Sorry, this is a thing that's always that we always discuss on the show. Like, we're really into tech. And at the moment, like, what Facebook basically is doing is trying to strangle Snapchat. So they've copied them on WhatsApp. They've copied them on Instagram.
Facebook.
And
they got stories now.
Most recently, they've done it on Facebook. So we've been having the discussion why would you
where
do?
Does it stop?
Where does it stop? Where does it stop?
Exactly.
So it's getting out of hand.
Facebook are the bullies of the tech industry, and they're doing their thing, and they might come up with their own OS as well, which totally Facebook might have their own operating system. But
they are
all
going
of that is
clear.
Hush hush, in the works kind of thing.
That's crazy.
Okay, that's innovation, but they don't do innovation regularly enough for me to respect them. I'm sorry. Do you use Instagram? Do you use any stories?
I do. You know what? I do.
Which one?
I use all of them.
Use all of them.
Only literally of the past 3 days, because I want to see what the difference is in terms of take up and engagement. Because I've always used Snapchat, so obviously I've got the most kind of content and followers on there anyway. But I thought, let me start using all of them and see what the kind of engagement is.
Shout out your Snapchat, or is that public domain?
No, that's public. That's the same. CKKONADU. Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit me up, man.
Oh, interesting thing about those stories, this is like the dilemma that I'm facing at the moment. So it's kind of like, how do you decide what content to put on each? Are you going personal with Snapchat? Instagram's a bit more broad.
Exactly. I've just taken the approach that Snapchat is actually a little bit more commercial, so I actually put my videos on there. Instagram, because I actually upload my videos on Instagram already, the Instagram stories are just short snippets of things that I think look cool, and you know what I mean, or things that I'm doing. And it's the same with Facebook as well. Facebook a little bit less, because I literally only just found out about that. And again, you tend to post the longer stuff, bigger content on Facebook as well, so I just keep the stories a bit shorter. But I probably use Snapchat the most in terms of stories, and then Insta, then Facebook.
Nice. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna hit another interesting story. So yesterday, again, this is all like fresh news. Burger King had this advert in the USA in which they try to play a trick on the Google Home system. So like Amazon Echo and Google also have their own home system. So the advert actually goes, there's a guy who works for Burger King, and then he holds a Whopper to his face and says, "Okay, Google, what is a Whopper?" Oh, even my phone is popping off.
Google trying to reply.
But then basically, like, people are just randomly at home watching TV, and their Google Home system reads out to them the first line of the Whopper's Wikipedia entry, which was recently edited literally a few days ago, so that it now makes it an actual advertising line, something like the Whopper is like fantastic, or whatever it was they said. They've gone and edited their Wikipedia and now played this advert to spark Google Home. Like, it's crazy, man. Like,
that whole concept. I was saying to my business partner the other day, because I was looking at the Amazon Echo advertisement on the train. We underestimate how advanced our society actually is. This is the stuff that we used to look at in films and think to ourselves, that's ages away. Our society is very, very advanced. Definitely. Very advanced, man.
Boy, I'm not even too sure where I stand with that one. I didn't even like Burger King and their adverts. They've always been doing questionable stuff from like the time they made Mary J. Blige, like thing about chicken and stuff. They're always doing questionable stuff. So I'm not feeling the advert. Is that it? Is that it?
American company's been taking a bit of a rap. This week. Obviously with United, Pepsi,
banter,
like all of that. Like so many memes,
so many marketing departments going up in smoke at the moment.
Ridiculous.
They need to get some black people into their offices, but we leave that one for another day. Yeah. So basically, we're coming to the end. We're coming to the end of the show. Many thanks to Carl from 2-3 Degrees. Is it 2 to 3 degrees?
Yeah, 2 to 3 degrees.
2 to 3 degrees for coming
fantastic
through.
To have you here.
It was amazing. I've been motivated.
We're feeling the energy.
Like I'm bouncing right now.
It's been a pleasure, man. Smashed it.
No, thank you, man. Honestly, like I always say, with these platforms, it's always great to have the opportunity, but it's great to see what you guys are doing as well. And I just pray and hope that you guys keep doing it, keep working, man, keep growing.
Hey, see that motivation there, Like a Boss show. Hey, is it Like a Boss? It's me, myself, Olu,
Chinasa,
Ross.
We're signing out. Thank you for joining us.